Have you ever found yourself staring blankly at the screen or the notepad, not having a clue what to write down in terms of new content ideas and coming up with new video topics for your personal brand? Well, you're not alone. In this video, I'm going to unveil the secrets behind how I come up with over 450 new ideas every single month and how you can do the same. Trust me, it's a game changer for your personal brand and it's actually a lot simpler than you might think. First, let's dive into the core of any content strategy, which is setting aside time solely for thinking and brainstorming. Now you might wonder, do I really need to schedule time in order to think? Yes, absolutely. When you dedicate specific time to think and brainstorm, you're giving your creativity undivided attention. Why do you think that you're able to think and come up with all these interesting ideas when you're laying in bed trying to fall asleep or you're standing in the shower? It's because your mind is finally free to wander and think versus constantly being distracted by other people, social media, what you're working on, and whatever else is going on around you. So every morning, I start my workday by setting aside 15 minutes for a content brainstorm where I literally just have my iPad and I have a page dedicated to just brainstorming and basically a brain dump of new ideas for content. And I just sit there. I don't force anything. I don't force ideas or really try to come up with something. I literally just sit. I don't have anything else in front of me except my iPad, and ideas will literally just come to mind, and I'll write down anything that comes to mind, even if it sounds ridiculous and stupid, because later I'll go back through all my ideas and get rid of the ones that I'm definitely not going to make content on, and then I can take the ones that are good and obviously start deep diving and actually mapping them out to turn them into an actual video. Now, in those 15 minutes, you'd be surprised by how many ideas you're able to come up with. For me, I'm able to come up with around 5 to 15 new ideas within that 15-minute period every single day. And when you do the math, that's about 150 to 450 new content ideas every single month. Now let's talk about the process or system for actually capturing these ideas, not only for when you sit down to do that content brainstorm, but also just throughout the day in general, because you'll have ideas come to mind, who knows, when you're in bed, when you're in the shower, when you're driving, or whenever else, and you want to make sure that you're able to capture those ideas. So I always make sure that I either have a notepad on me or I have a digital app. Now for me, I use Notion and I have a dedicated page for literally just capturing new ideas super quickly and just throwing them on the page so that I can go back through them later. And it's very easy for me to pull out my phone, go to that page, and just write something quick down that came to mind. So however you want to do it, whether it's old school carrying around a notebook all day, or you want to have a page, say, in your notes on your phone or in an app like Notion, just have something available at all times for you to jot the quick ideas down that come to your mind. The trick here is to make it incredibly simple for you to jot something down, because the lesser the barriers, the more likely you are to actually jot down the idea that came to mind versus just passing it off and thinking, oh, well, I'll probably remember it later, which most of the time you don't. Now, another way I come up with content ideas is by stealing them from others. Now, I don't mean directly copying. That would be unethical. I'm referring to taking inspiration from something that somebody else in my space posted that did really well, or that just hit me that I thought might be a good idea for me to make as well. Now, for example, I have a saved collection on Instagram that I saved content to that went viral or that just caught my attention as I was scrolling through Instagram that I may want to refer to or look into making something similar later. As I'm scrolling through Instagram, I'll literally keep an eye open for content that did really well, that went viral, or just something that's in my niche or in my space that I might want to make a video on, and I'll just take that as inspiration to pull from. But like I said, when you're stealing somebody else's ideas, it is not about copying them. That'd be unethical. You're simply just taking inspiration from something somebody else has made and making it from your perspective in your own words and how you would perceive the idea. Now here's where the real magic happens. Actually taking all these ideas, all these rough ideas that you threw down, and actually developing and making them. This step is crucial. I basically take every idea and I ask, how can this add value to my audience? I expand on the concept, mold it, and refine it. It's like sculpting. You start with a block of marble and chip away until you have something of beauty and value. This process turns a simple idea that I threw down earlier and turns it into a full concept that I can actually post and put out into the real world. But remember, the key to this is consistency, because not every idea is going to be great and is going to be your next viral hit, but you never know what is going to be. So any idea that comes to mind, you want to make sure to write it down, because every idea has the potential to be great and you never know which one is really going to hit. So with this approach, you're going to find that you're not only making more content and you're coming up with more ideas, but you're also coming up and refining the ideas to make sure that they actually speak to and bring value to your specific audience. So now there should be no barriers or anything stopping you from coming up with content consistently, and you should never have to complain about running out of ideas and not knowing how to come come up with new ones. So start setting aside time every single day to come up with new ideas, ensuring that you'll never run out, and keep that idea capture tool, whether it's a pen and paper or your phone and an app on there or something, whatever works for you that makes it super easy and simple so that you can jot down an idea whether you're in the shower, in bed, or you're driving or wherever else. And then later when you can actually sit down, refine those ideas into golden content. Believe me, following these steps, your future self is gonna thank you. But anyway, hopefully this video was helpful, and feel free to give me a follow on Instagram where I post content like this, but maybe even better, I'll leave the link to my Instagram down in the description below. Also check out some of my products that I have that'll help you build your personal brand, making it more effortless and efficient. I'll also have the link to that as well in the description below. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.